hear me?
Hello.
Yes, hello, Deep. Thanks for joining.
Hi.
Um,
I was just waiting for the link.
yes, good. I'm glad that you found it. I see that you signed in.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that a few others will join us too. And
Yes.
I didn't see that you joined the class and the link on Loop. And I'll put the link here again for you. But it
Yes.
was and it really would help if you uh, before classes, if you go to the link on Loop for our classes and try to, um, yes, I will attend. That would register on Loop as well.
Yes. I got it
Sometimes,
from this loop only.
mm-hmm, yeah.
From
And
this
if you look
website
at
I got.
right, but on the link that I just posted where I list the class event, there is a space to say, will you attend? And there's a place there to click yes or no or maybe. And it helps me if you all classes
Yes.
on our Loop site. And some are Hangouts and some are on Skype and some use
Yes.
different locations. Um, yeah. So I'm hoping Irina will join us today. She's not
Yes. She is
used
online.
Hangouts before. She's online on Loop, but she's never been to a Hangout before, and I'm hoping she'll find her way to join us here. Um, so, do you have any questions that you want to ask
Yes, ma'am.
before
I
we
want
get
to.
started?
Yes, I want to ask that how I can means how I can improve my grammar portion.
Improve your grammar.
Portion means in grammar I usually make mistakes while writing.
Uh, so, how to improve your writing, especially your writing, um,
Yes.
and you say, "Yeah, she is." Hello, Irina.
She
Hello,
is.
Irina.
Hello. Hello.
Hi. Nice. You
Hi,
made it to
Arina.
a hangout. Welcome.
Hello.
uh,
It was
uh,
difficult, really.
the first finding a hangout is challenging, and sometimes they change things. We like hangouts, so we're glad that you're here. And Deep is here with us. And Deep, are you using a headset? Do you have a headset?
Yeah, I
Yes,
am
I
having
have a
earphones.
background noise.
Yeah, the background noise from you, Deep, and I don't know if you're using a headset that usually takes
No, I
the
am using
background noise.
earphones actually.
You are okay. Now, the background noise there gets difficult. We may have to ask you to mute your mic in between speaking. Right now, it's
Mm.
okay for me. It's
Yes,
okay for
in
you,
between I
Irina?
muted. In between
Yes.
muted.
Mm. Okay, and if you can stop playing the background music, that might help your sound too, but it's okay right now.
Yes.
So Deep was just asking a question, Irina. How can he improve his when he's writing? How can he get over that hump and improve his grammar? Any suggestions for him?
Ah. Uh, uh, the name is Anand. I deep. Yes.
He
Who is asking? I can't understand who is
yeah,
asking.
he uses the
Anand.
name Deep. Mm.
Ah, deep.
Uh, mhm.
Uh-huh. Okay. Uh, to improve English grammar skills, you need to practice every day. Every day. You can read textbooks. You can read many posts on Holly's site, language
Yes,
with a worldwide perspective. You can also ask any question in the quick question and answer group. It's very
yes,
helpful. Also, you can use many resources on the internet, which will help you to improve your skills. Just practice, practice, practice. Even
uh-huh.
5 minutes a day can make a difference. So
Yes.
that's not
This I
a magic formula. Just practice.
Yes, I heard
I,
about the reading, but from which book I will start? Means basic level.
oh, which book? Which level or which book?
Yes, which
Um,
book easiest?
Easiest. There is no easiest.
Uh-huh.
Grammar is just not, at least for most people, grammar is not easy. Uh, Gerard, anything you'd add to Irina's suggestions? Deep wants to know how to improve his grammar, especially in writing. There's one very important suggestion that I haven't heard yet. If you want to improve your grammar, especially in writing, have been mentioned in the practice, but if you want to practice, improve in writing, you have to write. So be
Yes.
sure
Yes.
that your practice includes writing. Uh, um, Gerard, anything to add to that?
I think, first of all, he should consult, have some books, because if
And he's
you,
asking for recommendation.
I use the Cambridge books, grammar books, and depends on which level is he studying.
And he's asking about which level, so intermediate, but how would you
Yes.
determine? If you weren't sure, how would you determine your level?
Means I know little bit about grammar, but couldn't able to express it. Means little bit know that this is grammar and we used to speak like this past and present. But I sometimes get confused in this whole past and present future this whole.
So Loop is a great place to practice. So I encourage you to join our classes, live classes, to practice speaking, but you can also write here and certainly on Loop. There are many different places to practice. I am someone who believes that grammar is learned better in use than it is when you study strict grammar. I am not, my personal way of learning this is true, and I know this influences the advice I give, but for me, I am not motivated when I study a grammar book and I'm asked to write 5 sentences, da da da, fill in the blank with the right verb, blah blah blah. Boring. I do not like. I need context. I need
I I I,
relevance.
I
So,
adore reading textbooks, grammar textbooks.
right.
I read them like novels, really. I can't
Um,
remember everything and apply all my knowledge to my writing, but I'm just curious. These textbooks for me are like I don't know, some pleasure. So our opinions differ.
Right.
Some
So
people
my
don't
point,
like.
yeah, is that you
Yes.
need to get own preferences to know yourself and what motivates you, because the only way for most of us to practice is to keep motivated. So you need to find what motivates you. For Irina, it's reading grammar books. For Holly, it is not. So what motivates you, Deep? What keeps you practicing English?
Uh, Indians crowd means number of Indians used to speak English, so this motivate me. So that's why I am joining this all Hangouts and your LWWWP group, etc. for improving my English level. And for the last 2 weeks, I am watching change in me also. That one day, I think Jena is here in the group who told me about that we have to use capital I while discussing about yourself. So they are making me correct. That's why I'm improving little bit.
Okay, so most of your English has been verbal.
Yes,
You've been using verbal English for some time, but now you're trying to practice writing more. One
yes,
challenge you may have is informal texting in English and conventional English. A
yes,
lot of casual English is not correct conventional English, and a lot of rules are changing. So we have a lot of discussion on many of these points. So in
yes,
texting, many people will type I,
yes. But there is
uh,
capital I they need to use.
but in conventional correct English, it needs to be capitalized.
Yes,
Uh, So your exposing yourself to more and more correct written English would probably be
yes,
very the text that you observe. Read silently, repeat that text aloud, read aloud to feel how the words sound as you're speaking them, which is what your
yes.
brain is more used to. And then write your own words. uh, Okay, so some advice there for you to work with. We hope we will be reading you on Loop soon. Uh,
Yes,
and then let's try to talk about a few of the pictures of the day. So Irina had chosen one from Friday, an interesting photo, and we can talk about that photo. And that's at this link in case you don't have it. Let me find the right space here. So we'll talk about the first photo at this link from Fridays. And Irina, make sure you put your mic back on before you speak, please. But did you see the eclipse?
I didn't, but I had an opportunity to see it because my husband phoned to me when I was at home and I could see the sun. So I could see the eclipse, but for me it was not interesting. I had a lesson with my middle son. I had an English lesson, and I was interested in his mm, speaking with me in his conversation. So I told my husband that I preferred to have a lesson, to continue my lesson with my middle son, than to watch the eclipse.
So the photo you chose is interesting
And
because these children children look very enthusiastic. Most of them seem very intently focused on the eclipse. uh,
Yes, yes, and I read an article about eclipse, and I posted it on the site, on your site, Holly, and I was surprised that there are many people in the world who are called eclipse chasers. Chasers, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Chasers. An S.
Chasers. Okay, and they try to observe every solar eclipse or the moon eclipse, and for me it was surprising
So you
because
weren't aware of that. Yeah.
I'm not keen on observing such events. I know that it's interesting, but watching it once, I can imagine what I can expect next time. So.
Now I think Gerard, may have an opposite point of view.
Well, in my place, the sky was cloudy, and besides, the eclipse was not as nice as in Moscow, because in the north, I read that it was better, but here was only partial. So it
I
was
was
not that
oblivious
interesting.
to it happening until afterward when I heard about it. I don't follow or chase them either, but I have many friends who do, and I usually know about it in advance. But I do remember one time as a child when we had to make these special things to hold over our face. We didn't have glasses like in the picture you shared, but we made our own with black cardboard and cut little slits for our eyes, little tiny little slits to look through. So Deep, did you watch the eclipse at all?
No, in India it was not appeared.
I like the different faces on the photo that Irina chose. The many different faces, yeah.
Children of different nationalities, and all of them are curious what they will see. It's amazing.
Not
that,
all of them. That's why I like this photo, because they're not all curious about what's up there. Some of them are looking in different places, as children will do, but most of them are very focused. Yeah.
Focused, yes. And it's nice that the photographer of this picture chose children to show
I agree.
because children are sincere, and we can see their sincere feelings on their faces. It's so pleasant to see curious, sincere faces.
Wonderful expressions. The one boy with the ruddy cheeks. If I say ruddy cheeks, do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
So ruddy is reddish, red cheeks. Looks like he's been running laps or playing football or soccer. His cheeks are very red, and his hair is reddish color. So there's a boy near the center, near the top center, who looks fascinated, and his cheeks are very ruddy. So it makes me wonder what he was doing right before class. So trying to choose one child from this picture and describe him to us so that we can find him can be a fun challenge.
I see a girl with long fair hair, and her neck is long, and she opened her mouth, and I don't see her eyes because of glasses, but I can imagine that they are blue because of her hair. And I see that she wears a sweater with the sign, how to say sign? Yes. I think it's yes. And this girl is located in the center of this crowd. Can you figure out it?
Yeah, but as I wrote in my note, I wonder as I look at this image, the neck looks more like a boy to me. I don't know why. And the long ringlets look like a girl, but the face and the chin, the little mark in the chin, and there's something about this makes it look more like a boy to me. So I'm wondering what Gerard and Deep think. Can you identify the person we're talking about, first of all?
Yes, I think you are talking about the ready person in that who is watching for eclipse and this all. They
Yeah,
are
and the mouth
wearing
is
black.
partially open, right?
Yes,
But do you think that is a boy or a girl?
it's a boy, I
That
think.
one. So you're voting boy. Two boys. Gerard, what's your instinct? I don't know who's
Doesn't.
correct. I can't tell.
It's a boy staring directly on that.
Many boys, many girls.
Yes,
But that one in particular that Irina is describing,
I think she is describing about the boy having brownish hairs.
and you would call it brownish hair, and I would call it strawberry blonde.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it's probably, no, maybe not the longest hair there, but it's curly ringlets.
Yes, Holly, can we use fair hair as a synonym to blonde
Fair.
hair? Fair
Um,
hair.
when I hear fair hair, I think of a lighter blonde, like if you go to the bottom center in the second row, that girl who's got her lips pursed. Ooh. This girl has fair hair. She has lighter blonde hair. So when I read or hear someone fair hair, I think light blonde.
Uh-huh.
The woman or boy, young boy or girl you're talking about looks to what I would call strawberry blonde. It has a little bit of reddish tint to
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else want to choose a person and try to describe them? See if we can figure out who you're talking about.
Gerard,
Okay.
please, please, please.
Okay. My child is a girl.
I didn't know you
Uh,
had a child.
she's not looking at the eclipse.
Uh-huh.
Her hair is brown, between brown and blonde. That depends on the opinion of the. And is abdon with a band, and
Yes.
she's
Mm-hmm.
and she's wearing a coat black with some color like the fur of an animal.
Fur collar, yeah,
Fur color.
fur-like color. And did you say black? So a black coat, not a coat black, but a black coat?
A black coat with a fair collar.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a very white face.
Pale,
Right?
pale. Yeah, pale is usually what you would say, a pale face. Nice. And what do you think she's looking at?
I don't know, someone, but she's looking at her right side.
I like the face on the young girl or boy. Again, I'm not sure, girl maybe, that she's angled toward young black face looks so intent. That expression on the mouth looks so focused and intent on what am I going to see. Yeah. Yeah, so you chose a nice one. Pink headband helps, and the fur color helps to distinguish. Yeah. There are, I see one, two, I guess there's another young man and young boy, I think, at the bottom row, looking in the same direction. And it looks like the same angle that that girl is looking. So maybe there was a noise or something over there. And then on the upper right, there's a young boy looking behind, looking backward, also distracted. Yeah, I love studying the faces in the image. Deep, is there anyone there? Oh, we lost Deep. Ah, he left. He left us. How dare he? Okay. Well, then I guess he won't describe a child there. Last week, when no one joined, I used the screen share and showed the images, but we found, with Gerard, we've tried this a few times, Irina, if I screen share or show the web while we are talking, our connection and voices are not as good. So if you don't mind, we'll just each have two windows open and talk here and look directly on the website. So maybe we can switch over to the images for today and let Gerard choose one to talk about. I don't know if you've pre-selected one or not. I went right down to the bottom to the flower photo. And I was amazed at all the people. Gerard, go ahead.
I don't have the link to today's.
Oh, I put it in the Hangout. It's there.
Oh, okay. Okay, yes.
And on loop as well. Busy Gerard. Countdown to exam time. Huh?
I like the picture of the worker cleaning the glass of a sky.
Yes, yes. Would you do that? Is that a job you would do?
No, not really.
So Irina, can you find his photo? Maybe read the caption, Gerard.
Yes, yes. I found this photo. A man is how to say, hanging in the air with the help of string, and he is cleaning the window. Yes, this photo. It is a worker in Shanghai, China. Yes.
Correct. But we would say cable, or they're using the word rope, but rope or cable would be a better. And Deep is back. Welcome back, Deep. So we are now looking at the photos from today. So there's a new link, Deep, for you to visit. And we're talking. Yes.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Due to technical reason, laptop was shut down.
Hangouts do that, yeah. So I've posted a new link to the photos we're talking about now, and we're talking about the photo from Shanghai, China. And Gerard, go ahead and read the caption and then talk about it some more, please.
Okay.
Yes.
A worker hangs from a rope as he cleans windows on the observation deck of the 632-meter tall Shanghai Tower.
Too yet. Yay. Oh, welcome. And our connection didn't hold her. She's trying to join us. I hope she'll come back. Okay, I noticed, Gerard, that a lot of times you read a 3 as a 5. So it's 632 meter tall. and I need to convert my meters in my mind. That's a tall tower. So he's up there in the sky. Would you do that job?
Not really. I don't like it. It looks dangerous.
You don't trust the ropes?
No, I don't like the heights.
I've forgotten that. I'm thinking of this summer in Spain when I met you in the place that I stayed, and out my window I could see way, way down. I like heights. I would like this job. I would do this. It would be fun.
Really?
I think it would be awesome. The only thing is it's pollution. I wouldn't like it in Shanghai. I'd much rather have it somewhere where the air is fresher. But the idea appeals to me greatly.
I hope this man is well paid, because it's a dangerous job.
I would be much more worried about smashing through the window than I would be about the height. This is what worries me, is if you get caught in a windstorm or a breeze blows you, is not smashing through the window. That would be the part I would be afraid of. But the height, the view, oh my gosh, wonderful. It'd be like flying. It would be fabulous.
You are a true adventurer.
This is a gene I get from my father.
Reckless.
That's what my mom would say, reckless, yeah. My mom, many, many times in my childhood, would say, Tom! That's my father's name. And she would yell what are you doing? Tom! Because my father taught us to be daring and adventurous. But also sensible, trying to be sensible. Precautions are there. Daredevil. So would you let your children do this, Irina?
A new picture?
This picture, would you let your children do that?
Sorry, I didn't grasp.
If your boys wanted to clean windows and help clean windows like that, would you let them?
No. No. It's awful job. It's an awful job. I'm absolutely convinced. It's dangerous. It's not clean.
I wouldn't want to do it every day, but it would be like paying to go hang gliding or flying. It would be bungee jumping. All of these things appeal to me. Suspension bridges. I love suspension bridges that go over chasms. My mom would never cross them, but my father would take the kids, take us across. So my photo goes all the way down to Wuhan, China, where apparently spring has sprung. And I see the beautiful cherry blossoms, but more than that, my eye goes to the sea of people and makes me thankful I do not live in China. I do not enjoy crowds like that. Oh my goodness, I thought it was crowded in Washington, D.C. at the Cherry Blossom Festival last year, but this is crowded. So deep I don't know where you are in India, but India also is known for being very crowded.
Yes,
When
I
you
am
have
in.
special events, are they crowded like this?
Yes, I am in Delhi in India, so it is cloudy
Ah,
like
yes, yeah,
your Beijing, China,
yeah. Ah,
and this portion of India is very polluted also.
ah, yeah. Hopefully, the world is making progress on ways to help these
Yes, but it's improving in
dangerously
political
polluted.
stability.
Mm. Well, that's good. It's good to look on those silver linings. Go for the positives. More politically stable sounds wonderful to my ears. I wish more political stability for the entire world. Oh. So when you have special events in Delhi, it's this crowded? I mean, these
Yes.
people are like this? Do you get accustomed to that?
No, no. I ran out of from that places when there is too much crowd.
Run, escape. Yeah, too crowded. For me, I
Yes.
would not be. I had trouble enjoying the Cherry Blossom Festival in Washington last year, 2 years ago. When did I go? Um, and it was not that crowded.
Yes.
So my eyes are glued to that sea of people in that festival. So do you have cherry blossom? Do you have cherry trees in India, in Russia, in Spain?
No. There are only festival like Punjabis do have or Hinduism festivals take place like Diwali and this all. But there is too crowd for political campaigning and this all also. So I don't like that crowd, means political crowd, means many of the people are standing and doing campaigning for other
Ah,
parties and they're fighting also with each other. But the festival crowd is good.
mm.
Everyone
And
sits.
do you have cherry trees in
Yes,
India?
yes, in India there is cherry tree, but in Delhi it is not.
Ah, okay. Irina, do you have cherry trees?
Sure, we have, but we don't have a cherry trees festival in Russia.
No
I have
festival.
never
Okay.
heard. I
Ah.
have never heard about these festivals. Uh, I would go if I would be in China. I would go
You would,
to.
even with this crowd, that wouldn't
Yes,
stop
even
you.
with this crowd,
Wow. With three
because
children. You
I
would take three children in there? You only
no
have two hands. How do you hold on to three children in
no
a
no
crowd?
no. Of course, of course, I would ask my husband or my eldest son to help me in the stay
Mm, mm.
with to take them, my little children, with me because of this crowd. They fast, and I would lost. How to say lost?
Would lose them?
Them in the
You would get lost or you would lose them. Mm.
would lose them in the crowd, certainly. But it's curious to feel what how people in China react to these trees. I want to feel their mood,
Mm.
their
Spring.
react to this.
Spring. The joy
Maybe
of spring.
their feelings are different of Russian
Hmm.
people to
Hmm.
similar events.
Hmm.
So it's curious.
Hmm. Gerard, do you have cherry blossom festivals?
We have cherry trees, but we don't have cherry blossom festivals because cherry trees are owned by people that exploit them to pick up the cherries, but not
Ah,
for
okay.
decoration.
Ah. Hmm. So you can't, any of you can't name a park where you can see rows of cherry trees on display like this.
No.
for enjoyment.
I have
No.
an apple garden in our
Orchard.
local park, and when apple trees in blossom, it's very beautiful.
Yes,
Very
and
beautiful.
smells wonderful, and the bees buzzing. Yeah, I'm there in my mind. uh, yeah, so the Cherry Blossom Festival in Washington, D.C. Is special because those trees were a gift from Japan and planted around the city. They sent, is it 1,900 or 1,000 cherry trees many, many years ago. And they are gorgeous. And they sent people to train the horticulturalists how to take care of the cherry trees. And we still have folks from Japan who come and inspect them and prune them and help tend them. So the cherry trees in Washington, D.C. are glorious. And I went for the first time, I think it's 2 years ago now, with Nan. Nan came up to visit, and we went to the Cherry Blossom Festival together. And it
Holly,
was
what is
beautiful.
DC? What is DC? I don't understand.
Oh, I'm sorry, D.C. My apologies. Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, the capital of the United States.
Ah, okay.
D.C. for short, District of Columbia. So many students ask me that, and I still forget and don't explain. My apologies. Yeah, D.C. Much easier to say than Washington, D.C. or District of Columbia. D.C. Our
Thank you.
capital. Yes, yeah. But I would not go if it was this crowded. Even if I had paid for my tickets and paid for the subway and spent 3 hours getting there, I would turn around and go somewhere else. I would not stay in that crowd. Would not work for me. So we're identifying many personality differences today.
And who pick up the cherries in Washington?
Picks the cherries? The birds.
The birds.
Most of them, but most of them are ornamental cherries, and the cherries are not the edible cherries. Most of them, but the birds often get them first. I noticed the number of selfie sticks in the air in this photo too. Something new in recent years. And a smart thing to have in a crowd like that, you can actually get better photos. Only this word comes to mind, to jostle. In a crowd like that, how could you stand still long enough to take a nice photo without someone jostling into you?
Jostle.
Jostle.
It's again. Could you repeat the definition of it, Holly?
Jostle, to bump into. So if you're in a crowd and someone nudges you accidentally, someone accidentally bumps into you, when you're in a crowd like that, people are touching you from all sorts of angles and pushing you left, pushing you right, pushing you forward, bumping you back. You're being jostled in the crowd. I don't like to be jostled.
A person should be patient because in the crowd, and should expect that he or she would be jostled. Yes.
Yes. So my solution is to avoid avoid crowds whenever possible. Deep, I think I would have a challenge. I've often thought this, a challenge visiting India, and in Japan, the subways, I think, would be a real challenge. They were for me in Korea. When I lived in Korea, the metro subway crowds were sometimes a challenge. Is Moscow this crowded, Irina?
Yes, of course, especially when we have different celebrations. We see many crowds, especially in the center of Moscow, on the Red Square, the main square in the city. And I once I was on the Red Square during an important event in Russia. We celebrated the victory of World War II, and it was awful. It was awful because people jostled us, and we were frightened that we would be how to say, I don't know, could die, even could die in this crowd, because we could fall down on the ground, and
Be
people would
trampled.
not notice that we
Mm.
would be on the ground, and I was frightened. And since that, I have never visited similar events, and I avoid them.
Mm. Gerard or Deep, any similar stories? So you didn't want to be trampled, and you haven't put yourself into a similar situation since, but you would for cherry blossoms. If you had a cherry blossom festival, you'd be willing. Uh, uh,
Yes, it will be nice if there will be a cherry blossom festival in India. But till now there is no one who celebrate this. But we celebrate this your Christmas on
ah,
25th December. Means there are many Christians in India. So one of my friend is also Christian. So he decorates the tree and make cake and etc. many things, and call all the friends for party and this all.
mm. Have you participated in the, I forget the correct name, but the Festival of Color where people throw colors at
Yes,
each
yes, it's
other?
the yes Holi festival. Indians
Holi,
celebrate.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I am Indian, so we used to play this, and it's around 15 to 16 days back we celebrated this festival
I
on
think I
16th
might
March.
enjoy that festival.
Yeah, this is an awesome festival. Yeah, we used
Uh,
to throw colors on each other, and everyone will meet each other and having good relationship and this all.
mm. It always looks so happy, but I've always wondered what happens
Yes.
when the colors get in your eyes. Does it burn? I always worried about, yeah, yeah. Mm, mm. So I don't know about Figueres, if there's any special holiday around Salvador Dali events, or if Barcelona, Gerard, but crowds Barcelona must have. I don't know about Figueres.
The biggest crowds in Barcelona are due to political events or political demonstrations.
Mm, mm.
But
Sounds familiar.
yeah, but they are quite quiet. We don't have problems of
Mm.
people stumble. Sometimes at the end there are some hooligans. I don't know how to say the word in English. Hooligans, the people that do bad things. Thugs.
So hooligans is not used as much in American English. Rabble rousers might be a fun word to learn. So a rabble rouser stirs up trouble. So to rouse up. So stir up trouble. Rabble is trouble or garbage or um, problems. So a rabble rouser. Political events often have rabble rousers here. They're the people who come in from the other side and hold up protest signs or have some chant. Well, they will try to cause trouble. Hooligan sounds more criminal to me. Rabble-rouser is not necessarily criminal activity. Ooh, thug is very criminal. So thug is bop you on the head and take your wallet. Rabble-rousers are activists, protesters, but not peaceful. Rabble-rousers are trying to stir up trouble. So I'm not sure which you mean. So I would put them in order: a rabble-rouser, a hooligan, a thug. So I don't know which one you're trying to talk about.
How would you call the ones that throw cocktail molotovs?
Oh, interesting. That's criminal. I wouldn't call that a thug, though. And we don't use hooligans. And they're more than rabble-rousers, more than troublemakers.
Vandals?
Vandals damages. Vandals have to damage something. A troublemaker is the word that comes to my mind. Criminal troublemakers. We need a better word. We need a hooligan word. That's more than a rabble-rouser. So this does or does not happen in Barcelona, Molotov cocktails.
Those sometimes happen, or people that burn garbage containers. A few people do that. I think these people take advantage of these demonstrations to do bad things.
Especially now that you can celebrate it, and they do celebrate it using smartphones and social media. I don't understand the celebration, but for many people, I think it is. And for many people, I often suspect it is the attention that they like more than the cause. But there are some people who will join almost anything if they can get some notoriety. Another photo. Anyone, choose any photo and describe it to get us there.
What about the one in Fenwick, Scotland?
I almost chose that one.
I was also getting to choose that one.
So what do you have to say about this one?
I'd like to know what sort of math is this? It's a muddy trial.
I think they are tourists. What do you think? I think they do this for their pleasure, because I see the line of people, and some of them wear sports clothes. And I see a man in an orange jacket, and I know that coaches have orange jackets.
So do you need a coach?
That's, the first man is smiling, and he is pleased with the situation, but the second person has such an aggressive face. Is that how to say torture?
Yeah, maybe just wants to be in front.
I think that he has a pity that he joined this tour, this store.
This is not.
And
I think
I
they
see, I see
they
the young girl is looking down, and maybe she is searching for something in this mud.
Uh,
Maybe frogs.
hmm.
Yes, I think they are playing some game like a contest, and this is the type of racing game in which the person who is in first row, he is laughing that I am winning this game, and the back one are getting jealous of the person in the front.
So would you be in front? Would you enter this race?
Yes, I won't. I would like to enter this.
You can have
But
this one. I'll take the windows.
I think I think the track is made artificially because if the depth of the quicksand could be deep, so they would die, like in old Tarzan films. So it must be controlled, the depth of the track.
And the consistency of the mud is looks consistent.
Like chocolate.
Also, so it does make you think that it was created, planned, and checked, and somehow modified for this race. Irina, would you let your children enter this?
I would allow my eldest son to join this company, and I would force him to wash, to bathe this trip. But I expect that he would have emotional talks about this trip, and I would be eager to listen to his description. It's fun.
It does look like fun for those that embrace the idea. But I just imagine going under, and the front runner, the leader, has been under. He looks like he's been fully submerged in this glop and goop. Lumpy, goopy, all of these words come to my mind to try and describe the mud. Muck, do you know the word muck? If this were
No.
natural, or if you were walking on the bank where it looks very wet and mucky, muck is when you're walking in mud or something mud-like, where your shoes stick in the muck and you lift your foot and it's hard to get your foot out of the muck. This is that type of situation is when you would describe muck. So after a rain in an open field, you walk through and you end up with mud on the bottoms of your shoes. That's mucky. Why people would choose that on purpose. I can see the fun, but not at this point of my life. I would not enter this competition. There are many mud wrestling events. And Gerard, you wrestle. Does your wrestling gym have mud wrestling at all?
No.
Have you ever mud wrestled?
No. Some men like watching women doing mud wrestling.
I wonder how far they go. It doesn't say. Oh, yes, it does. 10K, 10 kilometers. Oh, 10 kilometers. No way. Oh, that's a long race.
Yes.
That's a long, muddy track. They must have it set up and have an annual or regular events there. I wonder what it looks like the rest of the year. whether they let it dry out or keep it as a creek or what they do to create that lovely atmosphere. Maybe some sections are worse than others. And maybe the depth does fluctuate. No. Fun image. It is a fun image to talk about. The man in front, no one's mentioned this, but he reminds me of a famous actor. When I first glance at this, I see a famous actor. Anyone else see any recognition of anyone?
No.
Which man?
The guy in front. I want you to tell me. I don't want to tell you. I want you to see if you see the same thing I see. When I first glanced at this, I said, "Oh my gosh, that's..." No? I thought it was a young George Clooney.
Oh. What imagination.
His smile, his face, something reminded me of George Clooney. Big hands and another photo or another topic? Oh my goodness! Oh, we have a visitor. And our hour is gone. Oh my gosh!
Oh.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. The hour went fast. Fun photos.
Flies.
Hello.
Hello.
So does he like to play in the mud? Does that look fun to him?
I think that he would do this with pleasure.
I suspect that's probably true. Yeah, fun
But
class. Yeah.
Mom doesn't allow.
Any other last comments, questions?
It's great lesson. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I didn't suspect that you have such classes. It's very interesting and good practice for speaking.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye,
Thanks.
everyone. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.